Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Robocraft with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to Looting and Leveling, or Leveling and Looting. I'm not quite sure which sounds better just yet. The new series for the channel, which will be replacing the old Leveling series, as sadly, I felt that it got a little bit stagnant, especially with the new introduction of the crate system, rather than simply earning RP, and the fact that ranking no longer means anything. On the old leveling series, we'd already hit the level cap before the level cap was then increased, and I had all the items I really wanted. I even had a robot I was very happy with in the form of a mech. So I thought it was only fair we go back to the start once again, and now we go through the epic loot update, seeing how leveling is, and seeing how harsh or kind the new loot system is. So, let's open up our daily reward, which I'll try and be getting every day, and see what we'll get. Well, to start off with, we've been given a rotor blade and an electro shield. Not a bad start at all. Now, sadly, I don't actually want to build a helicopter yet, and to be honest, only one blade isn't really good enough. What I want to start off with is a tank. So what I'm going to do is dismantle Robo 1 and Robo 3, very cruel, I know, and we're going to use Robo 2 as a bit of a, there we are, a bit of a blueprint to make a better robot. So, what do we actually have in our inventory? We have quite a few cubes, a decent amount, although I would like a few more of certain variants. In the movement, we have 4 extra tracks. That's really good. We have a load of lasers, so maybe we'll make a laser robot to begin with. And that's that. So we're not given glass, sadly. Now, since this is a new account, I have got 3 days of premium since I verified my email address. So let's start building and try and make something half decent. I want something a little bit bigger than this, and since we have 510p flops, a lot more than we used to get given at the start, I kind of want to make something a little bit chunky. What I really want to make is a multi-tiered tank, similar to what we've got now, with the tracks almost looking detached from the main robot, with the main robot being one single structure, then the tracks being held by smaller structures on the side, something like that. At least that's the basic idea I've got in my head anyway. Will it actually end up like that? I don't know. Here's hoping so. So, let me just build a basic skeleton, and we'll be right back once I've kind of got my thoughts a little bit more together. Well, here we are. So we have our basic tank. Now, originally, I was going to either have a time lapse or simply stop whilst I was building and discuss a few options. However, I have never changed my mind. So many times in Robocraft, I keep forgetting we do have a P-flop limit, so some of the ideas in my head simply won't work. The idea of having all these separate kind of structures, making it one super structure, one super vehicle, was one of those sort of ideas. But now we have the most tough decision to make, and that is how are we going to paint this thing. We have the current grey non-premium version currently up on the store if anyone's interested. Like last time, I do like to kind of keep them on the store as a bit of a record for how our vehicles have progressed. But for now, let's make it pretty. I'm thinking blue and black, a nice, very clean paint scheme, and the idea I'm going with is all of the top section is going to be a bit of a blue shell, and then under that is going to continue to be black. So all here, probably not the wheels, the tracks, but all of the underside here be black, and then all the top section be blue, or something like that. Maybe we'll keep a black line down the middle. I'm not sure. We'll see how that looks. Now, the guns, I'm probably going to paint the lighter blue. To me, that means they'll stand out a little bit more. So let's just go ahead and do that, and hopefully it'll look decent. Do I want to paint this bit here, or do I want to leave this bit black as if it's part of the main understructure? I think I'll leave it black as part of the understructure. Okay, I'm using the word structure a lot today. I'm not quite sure why. Not sure if I like the guns being so luminescent blue, but okay, that looks Actually pretty decent, I'm happy with that. But before we get into the team deathmatch, we are going to quickly play single player, as I've been told by a very close friend of mine that you can get from level 1 to level 2 incredibly quickly, thus getting you a few extra CPU before you go into a battle. Not that that really matters so much anymore, since CPU is less relevant. It's not like the higher tier battles are much more rewarding than the lower tier battles anymore. But it does mean we can get our rusted chest very, very quickly. And wow, these things are inaccurate. But also, wow, look at that fire rate. Just pepper things with shots. Do I have a green cube? Or is that a blue cube I missed? Maybe it's a blue cube but I missed with the paint gun. Okay, that's probably the case. You can go bye-bye. Slowly. There we are. And I'll just continue like this until we get a level or something, I suppose. Okay, I was going to edit there, that's why I kind of shut up, but we are now already level 2. I can see why I was recommended to go into here first. Yeah, I would definitely recommend any new player then to go into single player first of all, just to get that extra level, because that was remarkably easy. Oh. I'm hoping there's more bots like that. That was a lot faster to kill. The smaller lasers do a lot of damage at close range. Not that I've really tested out the larger lasers yet, honestly. I haven't really played much in this patch yet. Okay, I'll be back once I get 10 kills and we get an extra crate to open. Maybe we'll get a second rotor blade. 1 minute later and 10 kills, we have our rusted chest. Now sadly, Robocraft for some reason minimized itself whilst I was recording that little bit, and the recording is completely desynced, and I mean that in like every single bad way. So I'm afraid no opening of crate right now. Either way though, we got the radar receiver listener and we got in movement the mech leg centaur. It really does seem like the single player is actually worthwhile now, which is a really weird prospect. Either way, we now have those, and I'm considering already selling them. However, I'm fairly certain I can't really craft anything I want if I sell even both of them together. So what I'm going to do is just keep all the items until I have enough stuff stockpiled that I can break them all down and actually get a useful part. Do we have at least one more laser wasp? Yes, we do. Do we have anywhere we can place it? We do if we make... No, I don't really want a gun here because that's far too close to this. That's only 1 block down, whereas this is 2 blocks down. I'm already unhappy with those being together. The idea was this could go here, then I could have these 2 here, then I could have 1 in the middle. But that wouldn't work out too well. Or I could do this, I guess. Doesn't look particularly good, but... Then if I get 1 more, which I could do from breaking down all the parts, we could have all the lasers on the back like that. Let's just put that back and pretend that never happened. Or we could do the lazy option and just make a little mount for it, I guess. I would like an extra gun. The more guns, the better. There we are. Although now, those are going to clip whenever I try to shoot left and right much. I think that's a sacrifice I am willing to make for now. Now, where is that random spot? There it is. It was blue. I have no idea how I thought it might have been green. Okay, so let's get into a team deathmatch and see what type of crate we can get. If we get utterly obliterated, which is very possible, we'll get a rusted. If we get first place, we'll get protonium. If we get second place, we get crystal, I think it's called, or diamond, one of the two. Then we get gold, silver, bronze. You get the gist of things. Now, Team Deathmatch definitely isn't as good as Battle Arena for the crates you get. You only get 1 item per crate, although if you're Premium you get 2, whereas in Battle Arena you get 4, and Premium you get 8, which is a big difference. And so we begin with our first true battle. Of course, at the moment, the lower CPU battles give you pretty much the same as the higher CPU battles, but that's not going to be the case for too long. Very soon, as confirmed by the CEO of FreeJam, the higher CPU battles will give you crates which are slightly more likely to give you epics and legendaries and all that good stuff. So I will, of course, be trying to build a robot bigger than the one we have currently for the future. A bit of a mangled mess of a bot there, using everything he's been getting out of crates, it seems. Is that a robot or is that a shadow? That might just be a shadow, I might be going a little bit crazy. I could go down there to join that battle, but I'd much rather go round the outside first. Pick my battles wisely. If we get on the top of the scoreboard, we get a Protonium crate, so doing well is very, very good. Yep, burst firing with these tiny little lasers, not the easiest of things, and darn, he's stuck there. Spot those two, and we'll try to ambush this guy now. Can we steal the guild and be a complete arsehole? I don't know. I have no idea who actually just got the kill there. Don't think it was me, though. That's on I may have. Okay, oops, sorry. Both of the stopping and reversing there, trying to let the other one go. A bit too polite there. Hello. Man, I've been a coward this battle. I just don't want to die, though. There's the thing. If we win, I need to make sure I'm alive to get the double victory bonus. The double score bonus, that is. Oh, there's a shot then. Was it actually shooting someone, or was it just shooting the air? Oh, no, there's definitely an enemy down there. Face my upside down rat. Oh, darn, okay. The plasma or the rail will get the kill. Nope, they missed terribly. And I simply took it. I'm okay with that. Come on, let me get first place. If we get first place, that means our very first battle will get us a Protonium crate. That will be awesome. If we get a legendary early on, that's going to be so good for us. Though honestly, I'll settle for some more movement parts and stuff like that, or even just more of the basic weaponry. We're pretty much out of everything. Even cubes right now would be pretty good. They're all dead, so I'm assuming this is bugged out. And excellent! Managed to get first place, although the people capping will be getting points. So that's a little bit of a concern. That is a interesting robot. And victory? Do we get first place? I'm going to be a little bit more competitive than I usually am, I've got to be honest. Now that we get a Protonium crate for being first, and then a Crystal Diamond crate for getting second, it's so important to get the high scores now in comparison to the olden days. Something shiny? Please? Okay, glass! And a cool electro ship. Okay, 2 rares. I'm not going to complain. Admittedly, glass being a rare, it's not the most exciting of things, but on the upside, it's pretty darn awesome. Although, I am considering recycling that shield, just because it's going to be a long time before we can actually get some use out of it, and it's worth a fair bit to recycle. Although it's actually worth a lot more to create, of course. How about glass? Glass costs 100, regular cubes cost... Okay, so glass is 10 times the cost. And has a much better ratio to recycle as well. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with those two. That I'm very tempted to recycle, because I don't really feel like I have too much use for it. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to get into a single player, and we're going to get the bronze crate, just because I want to see if you do indeed get the bronze crate and the rusty crate. Do you get both at the same time? Because that sounds pretty good, honestly. That, and I'm quite close to leveling. Single player seems really good for leveling, so let's just go ahead and do that quickly. And I'll be right back when it's ended, because it's probably the most boring process in the game. We are 25 kills, although it did take a little bit longer than I expected, so I still think going into regular team deathmatches or battle arenas or even the pit is definitely worth it more for crates. When it comes to leveling, though, I will say single player is absolutely insane. We are already level 4. So, rusted crate, what do we have? We have a thruster, that's actually really cool, and we have a hoverblade. Okay, nothing we can really use right now, but they will come into play later. And the second crate, the bronze crate, we have cubes. We have cubes. Lovely. I mean, like I say, we did need the cubes. It's not like it's something we didn't need. It's just, it's not quite as satisfying as opening something with a green hue around it. And now we do have enough CPU that we can start doing a bit more work on the robot. Although I am pretty happy with the new start, as it's called currently, it is a bit squished. It's a lot squished. It's very squished. So what I want to do is extend the front here, so I have one more of these kind of spikes coming out. So we have one more spike, and then this comes forward at least one, maybe two. And to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't mind widening it as well, so this singular line goes back to being 2 blocks rather than only 1 block. So if we do that there, just remove these for now, remove this, remove that, remove the entire front section. Let's say putting it here. Now we won't have enough CPU to do this right now unless we remove some of the guns, which I'm simply not going to do. But I would like to at least get it started. Something like that, and then we can have the next blade there. Connection point 1 to that connection point, okay. Connection point 1 to that goes there. Then we have the actual blocks there. Something more like this, just so it comes out a little bit further, so it looks more structurally intact. Beforehand, it looks so squished because of the lack of CPU. Still very squished, still very, very squished, but at least it's on the road to looking better. And now we can have these as a 2. Yeah, at this point we are once again running out of P-flops, which is a shame. How am I going to do this section here? What I could do is that, have a little spike on the end, then bring this up with the prisms. Yeah, that's what I think I will do, but for now, that really can't be done, which is a shame. So let's just try and smooth it out until we've got some more P-flops again at our disposal. We need 1 spare block, so let's just remove 1 from the undercarriage. There we are, in fact we can remove a couple of those. Go back to the front, and let's add these blocks back. Okay, for now, that's looking better. It's definitely, like I say, looking a bit more structurally intact. Beforehand, it was far, far too squished. Still too squished. What I really want is this back section to come out a bit more, or to have some more on the inside there, so it's a bit less pronounced. What I might do is lower it all, honestly, which is a shame, but for now, this is it. So these two can go here, and that will reduce the amount of clipping we're going to have. This one can move. No, this one can stay where it is. Are these better here, or are these better there? I think they're better here. A bit more vulnerable, but they can shoot behind them. So that's how it looks now. We do have a few pieces of glass. Is there anywhere we'd want blue glass? Yeah, okay, let's make it look like a really weird face. I was saying that looked kind of cool here as well. It looks more like a face on the front. For now, we'll keep it like that. There we are. And let's get back into one more team deathmatch. Let's see if we can get a level. We probably won't, but at least we'll get another crate. At worst, we'll get rusted. At best, much shinier things. And so begins the last battle of the day. Here's hoping we can do well again. Okay, a little flyer there. With how inaccurate these lasers are, I am tempted to just hold down fire and just pepper the skies. But at the same time, I think even with these lasers, burst firing is likely the better option. Don't really want to go up against those tiny little robots. There's several going that way, so let's go this way instead. Yeah, even with how many shots we fire, it does seem to be a lot better burst firing. There we are. Did we get the kill? Yes, we did. Excellent. Little flyer there. Now going down very, very rapidly. Is that a hover? Is he on his back? Yeah, okay, that is very weird to look at. AFK enemy. I'm very cheap doing this, but honestly, I want the score as much as possible. Once again, a little bit more competitive now that actually matters. Two little robots together being the best of friends. Well, isn't that just lovely? Let's kill him, so he was actually firing at us. There we go, we broke most of him there. I think I must have broke his weapon. Oh, hitting these guys is so difficult, even with lasers, which you can spam shoot. I can only imagine with things like plasma, that would be just horrendous. Unless you're using plasma with a much larger explosion radius, which of course we don't have available to us at the moment. How did that happen? You guys go and try and kill the little annoyance. I'm going to avoid him, and I'm going to go and cap the base. I'm hoping we'll see less of those once the higher CPU crates are a bit more weighted for rarity. Because at the moment, a lot of people from the higher rankings of old are now coming down to the lower rankings just to farm using those bots because they're so easy to make. And, well, they tend to do really well, honestly. They're basically just the new Reapers, or the new Flappies, or whatever you used to call them. I feel so much larger than everyone around me. Why are you all so small? Maybe I'm a bit too splayed out with my armor. I haven't really had a chance to get hit yet, which is a really weird thing to say, but I would like to see how well this takes damage. It should be okay, but the tracks are just really vulnerable. Once again, we get a Protonium crate. I am okay with that. I am completely okay with that. So what do we get in our second crate? We get... Ooh... Come on. No! Don't really care about... Okay, you're going to be recycled. You are likely to be recycled. That's a shame. 2 blues. So what would I actually want right now? What would I actually want to purchase? I would be tempted to get a second rotor blade, which we can get from simply destroying the shield. I'm tempted to get better tracks, because it'd be easier to build around. We don't need any more blocks. I would like some more glass, honestly. Weapon-wise, is there anything here I would like? Would I prefer to be using the larger lasers? More accurate, because less shots per second. And more damage per shot, but of course they take more energy and have a slower fire rate. I'm actually loving the Wasps right now, so I'm okay with that. I would like a oh, actually, that's what I'd like. I would like a nanobinder. I would like the basic nanobinder, because this one costs 0 energy. It's also a very, very low CPU load, so we could purchase the nanobinder. We can't really use it right now, so I'll wait until I level up, because there's a chance I'll get one in a chest. But for now, I'm afraid that's how we're going to end the episode. Definitely a lot more needing to be done with the robot. I'm going to quickly replace that with that. I'm going to put it on the store, because people tend to ask me, because I like playing around with the terrible bots I make. So I'm going to, oops, there's it, very quickly just pop this on the store. Let's just call it a new start, looting the world. There we are. 0 to upload. Yay, at least now it isn't costing me this time. So if you'd like the bot, it's there, and if you have a name for the robot, since New Start is definitely not the final name, then of course, please tell me in the comments below. And with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Robocraft leveling is a series you wish to see continued in the future. And all that good start. A good ending, I feel.